introduced yesterday, my name is Bandilan Brandon. I represent the Human Rights Development Initiative, and I'm also a lawyer based at the University of Zambia Legal Aid Clinic. I started my speech yesterday with a quote from Haile Selassie. I will repeat that quote. He said, "Throughout the history, it has been the inaction of those that should have acted, the indifference of those that should have known better, the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered the most, that has made it possible for evil to triumph." End of quote. Madam Chairperson, my colleague spoke of the fear of ordinary Ugandans that the anti-homosexuality law is actually a smokescreen for something more sinister. Our team has spent a great deal of time and effort trying to work out what exactly lies behind this smokescreen. Well, within the last 12 months, 3 things have happened in Uganda. 1, the anti-homosexuality bill, which was introduced by David Bahati, was recently passed into law. 2, Gen. Andrew Nyakamira, who was previously the Chief of Defense and is now the Minister of Internal Affairs, is drafting a bill designed to amend the existing NGO legislation in Uganda. General Andrew has said that the bill is a response to subversive methods of working. Here it's also said, and I quote, "There are black sheep among you who are working as if this country has no constitution," and that he will not give room to rumor mongering. He has also been quoted to say that he will crush demonstrations by opposition political parties without fear or favor. Madam Chair, the 3rd thing is the most subtle of them all. On the face of it, the move to ensure that citizens are registered and issued with national identification cards seems like the most normal and in fact very important step for any state. In some countries, the registration process is extremely important for voting, to open bank accounts, and to obtain passports or other travel documents. But in April this year, and only a few weeks ago actually, General Andrew warned, and I quote, that without the national identity card, no one will be allowed to transact business either in shopping malls or with banks, and even in churches, you will be required to produce your national identity card. He further said, and I quote, "If you do not register for national ID, you will not be allowed to enter the market, the bus, and even in church, you will be allowed to produce your national identity card. And even when taking your children to primary education, you will be required to produce the card." Madam Chairperson, as a Zambian, I have very little knowledge of the General and his intentions and ends. But I have friends and I have colleagues in Uganda. My purpose in bringing this to the attention of the Commission is to throw light on something and to alert the Special Rapporteur on Human Rights Defenders in Africa on this situation. We consequently request the Special Rapporteur to engage the government of Uganda on all 3 of these issues as part of one whole. I must conclude by saying that I am afraid. I'm afraid of where things are going in our neighboring country, and I hope that it is able to move back from this slippery state that it seems to have chosen. Madam Chair, I thank you for your attention.